Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this meta video. So we're going to go through the results from last weekend. I think this is like the second weekend of the kind of, not new edition, but you see what I mean, like this is a very lazy video. I haven't bothered to check anything beforehand, so there's probably going to be me faffing around a bit. But anyway, let's have a look at some finished tournaments. Looking at old world. Actually, let's do the meta first, because we can do a global overview of, I think, of the overall all factions, all events, all regions. Is this just the states? Global faction stats. All regions, yeah. So, right, let's go from the errata today. Let's see what's happening. Stats wise. Cool. He's fixed. I was talking to Colin the other day. He's fixed the standard deviation. Those figures look more appropriate. So just to explain this chart, and I'm so glad he's done this. Just to explain this chart, the bar is like the average, but this sort of black whisker is the kind of the variation in results. So this is what we call the standard deviation. So essentially around about 2/3 of results are in here. So this is what you'd call a normal result for a Bretonia player at a tournament. So your range is 23% to 79% for Bretonia, which means 4 out of 5 games is 80%, obviously. So it's nearly normal for Exiles to win 4 out of 5 games at a tournament. That's what I mean when I'm talking about doing useful stats that kind of prove a point. Because that, I would say, is broken. Tomb King, it is 80%, actually, 20 to 80%. Crace is 20 to 80. But as you go down, for instance, if we look at Royal Clan, they're 18 to 71. So what that means is that a 5-game tournament, they could win 1, they could win 3. So 1, 2, or 3 wins is normal for a Royal Clan at a tournament. Whereas for Exiles, for instance, 1 win isn't normal. That's low. So if you're an Exiles player and you're only winning 1, you're performing below average, I would say. And if you're winning 4 or more, if you're winning 4, you're probably about average. I mean, 79.8, 80%. Technically, no. But Khemri, shouldn't be losing 4 games at a tournament, and it's pretty normal for them to win 4. So that's. I hope you see the point I'm trying to make here. What he's then done as well is he's used the Z scores to split the thing off into populations. So essentially, these 5 at the top, they're the broken ones, and these. Well, the red ones are all the broken ones, right, for one reason or another. Skaven being particularly bad. He's also, I think, introduced a mean line there. Population mean 43.4, population standard 4.8. Yeah, I'd expect that. So that's nice. This is a really helpful chart, actually. Well done, Colin. Because you've got the average line of all the factions there. You've got the overall standard deviation there, so you can see these factions that are kind of within this normal range of win percentage. Now there is another measure you can use to see if the normals are within the normals, but don't need to do that. It was interesting because I was talking to Colin about what stats you can do, and I'm like, well, there's tons you can do because you got loads of data, but what would actually be helpful and useful to the community? Because if we go much deeper and start doing any more complex analysis of the stats, then all we're really doing is telling Games Workshop what models to sell. And really, I'm not going to do that work for them. I mean, I'm sure that they must be paying people tens, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds to do this kind of modelling for them, so that they can identify, what product lines to push next. They must be doing that already. So, and that as a consultancy gig, you'd expect to be on, at least 6 figures doing that kind of, highly technical data analysis that's going to be insanely profitable for a company. So to be honest, unless they pay me, I'm not going to do it. Um, but this is really useful data, I think. This is about as complex as we need in order for players to work out, in order for players to essentially be able to sit down confidently and say, yeah, these are all broken. They're all broken for one reason or another. Like, what's happening at tournaments, these are broken. Like, that doesn't mean that everybody who plays them, like, if somebody takes and I hope there's some craze list that we can look at, because I'm still not sure what's effective in there. But if there's, well, actually, I do know what's effective now. It's them damn great weapons, because they got great weapons with AP3, basically, which is just fantastic. And I think they're already strength 4 anyway, so they're, you know, strength 6, AP3, you know, loads of attacks, you know. You can actually make them toughness 4 as well with the banner of resilience, which is a weird... Anyway, whatever. So, yeah. So, essentially, Skaven are still in difficulty. Dark Elves, Lizardmen, and Dwarven Mountain Holds also in difficulty. So the win rate here is 38.6. Standard deviation, it's just on the bottom. Oh, he's made it red. Yeah, the Z score says that should be. So I'd say Expeditionary Force are in problems as well. Mortuary Cult, so far. But again, this is over very few results, right? We're only... Hold on. FAQ. No, that's not even what I wanted to do, is it? That's I wanted FAQ in errata 1.5.1. Here we go. So we've got very few. So that was actually since January this year. Since the FAQ, there's very few results. Very, very few results. Not enough for this data to be reliable. In fact, we can turn off the 10 plus appearances. And as you can see, actually, the variation gets much wider when you don't have that much many appearances, because obviously there's more spread data. But the more appearances there are, and the more data that we get, the more you tend to see things normalise over time. So I'd suggest you, if you're using the site, click the 10 plus on. But yeah, so this is where we are at the moment. But again, it's really early days, because I think the meta has changed enough that, you know, we're not really going to be able to tell who's good and who's not yet. But anyway, let's have a look at some results. Let's have a look at some lists. So this is in the USA. Latest recent results, and last weekend was the 12th. So we had Old World Day at Battle Pub. Nick Morell won it with an Errantry Crusade list. And Higginbotham with a Kingdom of Bretonia list. And then we had some Wood Elves there that didn't submit a list. 2K tournament, nice. That's a pretty standard Errantry list. And I'm presuming... Oh, Elise Ducar. Yes, I think we'll see her... Actually, this is a good point. We'll see her a lot more often now, because essentially she's a level 3 wizard, which was, I think, the reason you wouldn't see her over an Enchantress before. But she does have the ability, right? She's got 2 key abilities. The first one is she auto-dispels rolling any double. Now, that sounds way more good than it actually is, because obviously if you roll a double 1, that's outclassed in the arts. If you roll a double 5 or a double 6, you're probably dispelling it anyway. So really, double 2, double 3, double 4. So you've got like an extra 3 in 36, maybe 4 in 36 chance of dispelling, which it's an extra chance of dispelling, but it's not like +1 to dispel, right? Let's just, you know, knock that one out of the park to begin with. It's not knock that one out of the park. That's the wrong metaphor, isn't it? Anyway, let's eliminate that possibility. But she also has the ability to take 2 of the Bretonia signature spells, which is really, really good, because they've got some really tasty signature spells. So I still think her in a big unit of, like... Because if you think you could put her in a big unit... And actually, the buff spells in Bretonia remains in play, so your opponent could forget to dispel them, which would be, you know, useful in a tournament. So, you know, but one of them is, for instance, gives the unit regen 6 up or 5 up. I think if you cast it on an 11, it's a 5 up, and if you cast it on an 8, it's a 6 up. But still, you know, you put that in a unit. They've already got a ward save because of the blessing, so they've got relatively decent armor. They've got a very high ward save for normal troops. Like you rarely ever see a 5 up ward save on normal troops. You know, and they've got that. I mean, yeah, it's against strength 5 attacks or more, but still, there's not a lot of that. There's quite a lot of strength 5 attacks that applies to, and you know, again, you don't see a 5 up ward save on anything. I don't think. I don't even think Phoenix Guard have a 5 up ward, do they? I'm not sure. They might do. Out of everybody, it should be Phoenix Guard. I think. Yeah, you see a 4 up ward on the Sisters of Twilight, but they're weird. Not Sisters of Twilight, Sisters of the Wood Elf, you know, wizard ladies on deers. Deer. Deers? Deer. Is deer like sheep? I don't know. What's the collective? It's deer. A herd of deer. Deer, yeah. I don't know where deers came from. Anyway, so one of them's a ward save, but one of them's like extra strength and AP. So essentially that makes your Lance's strength 6, AP 3. You know, which I think is really, really good. So as a sort of a set of buffs, actually putting her in like a unit of Knights Errant makes them, or just a normal unit of Mounted Knights of the Realm, makes them really, really good. There's a bit more infantry here, but this just looks pretty standard. Pretty standard. Although the interesting thing that you're seeing with these. With those two, I don't know whether it's a pattern. We'll establish that over the rest of the video. But one of the interesting things that I've seen with both of those lists, it's a small tournament. It's a very small tournament, only 2 games. But with those 2 lists, no Falconhorn and Fredemund. But we'll see. Skaven Renegades. Now, I haven't done a video on the Renegade rule set. I like it and I don't like the Renegade rule set at the same point. I like it because somebody's put a huge, Val has put a huge amount of effort into essentially rewriting the Renegade, they are called Renegade, the Renegade factions, i.e. the unsupported factions, and giving them like a proper rule set, which is great. But I don't like it because it shouldn't happen. Like, I don't like community submitted rules because then from a data purity perspective, Skaven Renegades are very different from Skaven. So really, if you're lumping Skaven and Skaven Renegades in the same data, they're not really the same faction. So it buggers up the data analysis. Yes, it might be better for players, but you know, it sort of buggers up the data. That's my sort of I suppose high level criticism and support of the project. Now, in terms of the actual rules, I really should get the Renegade rules set out. I did try and do a video when they released, but it was just so big. It took me I got to 2.5 hours, and literally I just ran out of steam. I just couldn't, and I was barely any way through. So it's anyway, Skaven coming in third. What have we got? So he's got a Grace here, who's a level 4, Chieftain, Warlord, Engineer, Storm Vermin, Clan Rats weapons teams. I think the a key change is that Val's made the weapons teams detachments so they can stand and shoot at stuff that's charging into the main unit, so you can actually hide them behind. Whereas actually what you have to do in proper Skaven is put them slightly behind until your infantry is about to be charged, and then you could move it slightly in front, because rattling guns have got quick shot, so they get a quick stand and shoot reaction off before they die, and then the opponent overruns into your unit of rats. So it keeps your rats alive for an extra turn basically, and you get an extra shot off. But then your rattling gun's dead. 9 Giselles are great. Doom Wheel, I think they're pretty cool. Warp Lightning Cannon, jury's out on them, but we saw somebody do well with the tournament with 2 of them last week, so they could be good. Jonathan Hendry, this is in the States, managed to win with Orc and Goblin Tribes. Pardon me. Night goblins. Lots of them. 9 fanatics. 2 mangler squigs. Giant. Nothing unsurprising or untoward there. Well done. Well done. July Old World. Have we got any GTs? Yes. We've got one here. Renegades again. On... I don't like it because it's like... It's just... Yeah, we can't split out Renegades in here, I don't think. Can we turn... Right. Don't know what to do about that. Because if the Skaven Renegade faction is now very good because of the infantry changes, which I think Skaven are actually quite good now because of the infantry changes. I think people need to take Skaven a bit more. I think, well, they're not quite good, but they're nowhere near as bad as they were. Same as Empire, who were bottom of the meta. Like, I think Empire are due a resurgence. You know, I saw there was a battle report with Mountain Miniatures where he did Cathay against Empire, but you know, the bloke playing Empire, I don't think he played them very well. Yeah, he kind of just set up as if he was going to fight Chaos, and then he wasn't fighting Chaos, he was fighting Cathay, which is different. But anyway, Mortuary Cult, Prince Apophis, and Jeff. Yeah. Not sure why Prince Apophis is there, but whatever. I guess it's quite cool. So we've got a big unit of Poison Boys, some Boshabti, Casket. He's got a Colossus, Casket, Colossus, and a Catapult. Interesting. Maybe just for the alliteration. Don't know. But anyway, well done. That's an interesting list, and he's managed to win 5 games with it, which is pretty good going. Leo managed to get second with these Skaven Renegades, 2 Grey Seers, Plague Priest. Yeah. Seen that list before. But it's a good list. Then we've got Wolves of the Sea. We've got a Lord on Dragon, 500 points. He's spending exactly the 500 points. That's it. That's all you get. You can have a flail. You can have a shield. You can get in the Mark of Nurgle. I mean, he's still got a 3-up save and a 5-up ward, toughness 6, and 10 wounds. I think this is another thing that people forget about Chaos Lord, because Chaos Lord is 4 wounds already, and the Dragon had 6. So he gets up to 10 wounds. So he's actually unit strength 10, so he still gets his close order +1, which no other Dragon Lord gets. So, you know, it's still pretty nasty. Then he's gone for Galrauch, which is interesting. And then we've got a load of Marauders, some Skin Wolves. Got some Berserkers, some of which are ambushers. Lots of Berserkers. I really can't figure it. I mean, I guess these are for, like, leaving off the table and then coming on and attacking in the rear. Like, War Machine hunting, that kind of thing. And then you got the Skin Wolves, who are basically super heavy cav. So that's their job. Then he's got Marauder Tribe Huskarls, who are, like, heavy cav. And they've got -1 to hit in shooting and Magic Res 2 and +1 initiative in the first round of combat. Which is, you know, okay. Yeah, very interesting list that. I'd love to have watched one of those games because I'd love to see how that plays. So well done, Michael Shearer. Okie doke. Latest results. United States. So Drew Mitchell managed to win with Renegade Vampire counts. There's a lot of Renegades going on here. I don't... It's really difficult to comment on the Renegades because I haven't really read the rules so that I've got an in-depth understanding of exactly how they work. because I assumed, probably wrongly actually, and apologies to Val for my errant assumption, but I assumed that somebody else would then do something, because that's normally how these things happen. Like once a franchise has lost control of its own rule set, and I guess that's the other thing, because like all of these things, yeah, I get that they're an attempt to help the community, but it risks essentially the company losing control of the rule set. And if the company loses control of the rule set, the company here being Games Workshop, they'll just fucking bin it off. So I'd rather we try and work, we try and bully Games Workshop into actually doing, providing us with good rules, rather than trying to write our own for now. This wasn't supposed to be a video about the Renegade thing, but that's another reason why I didn't really do a video. Well, why I didn't finish off my video on it, because or you can look at the rules in isolation, but thematically, I think it's a bit kind of. I mean, it's okay, but like, I don't know. I don't want Games Workshop to lose control of their own rule set, because they will just bin off the miniatures, and they will, as soon as they think they can't make money out of it, off it goes again. And I don't want that to happen. And yeah, I know people think that you should be fighting against the evil overlord of Games Workshop or whatever, but like, I mean, you can't. Like, just being honest, you just can't really. They own the rule set, they own the models, like, and this stuff. I like buying it. I like I like consuming it. I like, well, not but you know what I mean, as a consumer, in that sense. I like. I don't like the company, its ethos, what it stands for, or how it operates. Because I think it makes far too much money. It doesn't need to make that much money. It's incredibly greedy. But the products that it makes are pretty decent, and there's some good people working there who I think should continue to be employed in that kind of job for a very long time. So I'm happy to support it, to support the people that I like there. But yeah, so I don't, and also I don't want them to get rid of it again, because when I remember people being very critical about Games Workshop when they got rid of Warhammer Fantasy, and they were like, "Oh, we'll just continue it on as a community," but it just died. It just died, didn't it? So the community can't carry it. You need a big company like Games Workshop who can make money out of it to carry the thing and to keep it relevant and refreshed and all the rest. Community can't really do that. Not anywhere near to the same scale. So realistically, like, we've just got to work with Games Workshop and publishing like rule sets. I know I had a go at publishing an errata once, but that was that wasn't really an errata. This was a sort of suggested FAQ for people running tournaments. So essentially, this was a list of rules queries that wasn't covered in an FAQ that I've been asked on the channel, or I've come across, or whatever. So, it wasn't me trying to like reset the rules, and I made it very clear that as soon as GW posts an errata that supersedes it, then fine. I'm not being precious about it, but like. And I guess that's probably. I think Val said the same about the Renegades. Like, he just wants GW to publish proper rules for them, and like that's his way of encouraging GW to do that. And I hope it works. But also, like, I think it is. We don't want the community to run away with the project, as it were, because then Games Workshop just won't support it, and then it'll die like Fantasy did. And the problem with like how they killed off Fantasy, right? I don't know why they did this though. This video wasn't supposed to be about this, but I don't know why they did this, because it was like so vindictive. It's like, no, we're killing off the setting, we're killing off the world, we're killing off everything. We've told you it's the end times, and it is the end times, and it's the end. And now it's finished, and that's it. Oh yeah, you're going to have to rebase all your armies, because the new game, we're going round bases for everything. Fucking. And then... you're just like, why? Like, stop trying to make everything into 40k. Like, you know, 40k is very successful on its own, but you can't turn fantasy into 40k, like, which is what they've tried to do with Age of Sigmar, and it's largely not worked. I mean, the only reason that Age of Sigmar has actually sold what it has is because A, they got rid of fantasy, and so you couldn't buy those models anyway. Now, thankfully, they have kind of given it its own identity. In a, it is very, very high fantasy, very kind of like, you know, medieval Thor, Blood and Thunder kind of. That's the kind of the aesthetic that it's going for. Which is fine, but you know, it's not really my jam. I like things to feel a bit more real. Cool. Anyway, these tournaments. Parker Brown Beastman coming in, doing well. Oh, there's no army list there. That's annoying. It's the black ones, isn't it? Let's have a look at this Renegade vampire count thing. Mortis Engine, no, oh sorry, level 3, on foot, general, Scepter of Dunawaro, double res there. Mortis Engine level 4, not the general, but that's your casting machine, that's your resing machine, and that's where the general is. 2 Team Banshees, 2, oh no, sorry, 3 Vargeisen, 8 Blood Knights. So maybe that guy goes behind the Blood Knights and reses them up, and he's got 34 Graveguard with the Drakenhof banner. This is a really nasty list, and absolutely goes to show that the Renegades has done absolutely nothing to balance vampire counts. Because you've still got that broken list, slightly less broken, but you know, still broken, winning all 3 games. 2.5k tournament though, so cool. So that's in the States. That's what happened over the weekend. Let's have a look at let's head over to Australia, see if anything happened. No, not last weekend. Nothing in Australia last weekend. Canada. Oh no, that's hold on. Latest. Oh yeah, he's not updated the tooltip. Denmark. No. France. No. Deutschland. No. Kiwiland. No. Norway. Online. I don't care about online competitions. They bore me. Sorry, that was really blunt. Latest results, thanks. Cool. So we've had some in Spain. Of course, we've had some. I don't know why Old World is so popular in Spain, but it does seem to be. I suppose there is a lot of British expats over there, isn't there? Sorry, there's something stuck on my desk, and it's very pickable. And I, you know, when you get like a. So we've got Metropolis Centre, the Old World, 2,000 points. Metropolis Centre as pumps out tournaments all the time. Skaven not getting first. Javier Bujanda. Well done, dude. That's a really good result. Gracier, level 4, Plague Priest, Chieftain, BSB. Oh, why hasn't he got the Shield of Hiding? You've got to have the Shield of Hiding on a BSB. It's so funny. I'm not going to stack. I'm just going to hide behind the shield and hold on to my stick. So you've got 2 Chieftain. You've got plenty of Clan Rats. No weapons teams. 20 Giant Rats and 2 Hell Pits. I don't know how he won a single game with that, to be honest. Like, where's the damage coming from? Unless it's all just combat res. I guess Clan Rats... Do Clan Rats start with... Oh, no, you got to pay... Oh, no, they got light armor for free. Okay, cool. So they start with... So actually, hand weapon and shield... That's a 4-up save for Clan Rats. And they got... Well, they've only got 1 attack back. But, like, 40... That's, like, what? 10 by 4? So, if you don't charge in the front rank... They've still got 20 attacks. They might do a little bit. You got to kill a lot, though. And then, of course, I guess you've got the Chieftain in there to do a bit of damage. And your Plague Priest. And... I guess it's like a chip damage army, this one. Really interesting list, Javier. Well done. Well done for winning the tournament. Poop. Oh, this is taking us to the location. We've looked at this before, but street view. Bush. It's like where is it? It's around here somewhere. The problem with Madrid and Barcelona, actually, I mean, although you can tell the two cities apart, when you're in them, there's a lot of identical architecture, so it's quite difficult to. I can't remember. It's around. It is definitely around there somewhere. It's in one of these bloody things, but yeah. So like when you're in this stuff in Madrid, like it's it's impossible to figure out where you are. Oh no, it's not. No, Barcelona is the same as this, isn't it? Where is it that I'm thinking of? There is another big Spanish city that looks actually quite different architecturally, but I can't. Anyway, shut up, Dan. Nobody cares. So we've got Javier Bujanda, Alvaro Crespo. You've seen his name before. He's a prolific. He's got Dwarf and Mountain Holes this time. Dan Taylor, Grand Cathay. Here we go. First Grand Cathay. Actually only played 2 games. I bet he would have won the tournament if not. Dan Taylor, Miao Ying, Shigengan Lord, level 3, Yang. Oh, he's gone for the Jade Blade of the Great Fleet. Okay, so he's gone for way more damage than he's gone Law Familiar, Illusion. High magic with her, yeah. 20 Jade Warriors, Celestial Blah. Oh, he's gone for multiple Jade Warriors. So we've got a Celestial Dragon Guard. So these are the ones that are weapon skill 5 and a 6-up ward. For an extra fucking point for a 6-up ward. An extra fucking point for a 6-up ward. Sorry, this is one of the main reasons I haven't actually done my Cathay video yet. Because I can't get through it without going into a rant about some of the ridiculous decisions they've made that they're just going to have to fix at some point in future. And we know what they'll do. They will just fix them in about a year's time, subtly in an FAQ that, will go, oh, finally they get nerfed. Anyway, he's got 3 great cannons and a fire rain rocket. Oh my God. This is pretty disgusting. So the great cannons have this ability to fire twice once per game. I think the rocket battery does as well. So basically it's a big wall of infantry with these two can fly around and just be a nuisance and actually do a lot of damage because they both do a lot of damage, especially with the Jade Blade of the Great Fleet. This is gonna, that's the one that gets regen as well, isn't it? This is going to be, these two together are going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with because that's like 14 wounds and Miao Ying probably gets more from healing and shit. And then you've got Illusion, so you've got her, so you've got the Yang spell that stops people from charging. There's an Illusion spell that stops, so they get to choose when they charge, or it's just bullshit. And then you've got this big block of warriors, and then you've got all of these, and basically these ground cannons, that's six great cannon shots in the first turn for that many points. To be honest, fuck you, Games Workshop. I really hate this, because it's just so obviously stupid. It's so obviously broken. It's like whatever. They're selling the new models, and therefore, although I was actually going to get a few, I'm purposefully not going to buy any Cathay. Maybe ever actually as protest, and I'd encourage everybody else to join me on that for the ridiculous rules. No, stop it, Dan. This is why I can't do a Grand Cathay video. Because it really annoys me. The whole thing really annoys me. Because you read through the rule set and it's like, but, oh, you're just giving them everybody else's special rules. Yeah, great. And just relabeling them. Right, yeah. Inspired thinking. Why not give them their own special? Oh yeah, you will give them their own special rule. Yeah, that kind of reads like a samurai thing, but you hired cultural sensitivity guys to do it, to make it all kind of Chinese, and you've gone kind of, sort of Han and Ming dynasty, maybe, probably mostly Han, but you've hired these cultural sensitivity guys, and you're kind of writing Japanese stuff into it, because Nippon and China are very similar, aren't they? Yeah. Much like, England and Italy are similar. Shut up, Dan. We're talking about results. Anyway, well done, Dan, for taking Cathay and getting 2 wins with that ridiculously disgusting list. So that's Metropolis Centre. Well done, Dan, Alvaro, and Javier. You've got Il Torneo. I think that just means Warhammer, doesn't it? Borja Paya manages to win with Bretonia, so well done. We've then got some Vampire Counts coming in second. It's interesting. And Tomb Kings coming in third. There's nothing really surprising in that list. There's nothing really surprising in that list. Although, actually, we're starting to see more Blood Knights. I think people are starting to, realise that eventually the double Scream thing is going to be, the double Terrorgeist thing is going to be got rid of. So, actually... Oh, yeah, and by the way, the only reason he's not gone for 4 Grand Cannons, FYI, is because of the unit restrictions, because you're only allowed 3 of a single special choice. So I'm sure he would have gone for 4 Great Cannons had he been able to. Because, this is another thing. They basically get the Empire Great Cannon with a freaking Ogre and a really good stand and shoot reaction for an extra 30 points. And that can shoot twice. Once a game, right? It's just ridiculous. Like, they don't have engineers, so yeah, so misfires can be pretty bad, but still, like, if you're shooting 6 times, you're rolling with cannons, you're rolling 12 artillery dice. That's 2 misfires. But that basically does mean that 4 shots go off, so that pretty much kills anything, doesn't it? You hit something with 4 cannonballs and it's dead. So that's a kind of I'm going to remove that model this turn, thanks. And there's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, your big dragon that you brought to counter Miao Ying, nah, it's just dead. Bye. I've just pressed the delete button on that. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's no counterplay, nothing, because it's cannons. And this is why cannons need to be made slightly rubbish, because the way they function is their strength. The way they fire and pick targets and shoot is their strength. The way they basically can't miss is their strength. The only way that they miss, essentially, is if you get unlucky with dice, right? And I know that's the same with any other weapon, is, if you get lucky, blah, blah, blah. But, like, the thing is, if you hit, you're pretty much guaranteed to wound, and, they've got high enough AP that, I don't know. Whatever. Right. The thing is, like, how do you defeat that list? Unless you, like, hide everything behind terrain until your ambushes come out, but then your ambushes come out and there's basically Miao Ying in dragon form waiting to eat them. Like, what do you do about it? Like, how do you counter that? It's really, it's just stupid. Right. Yes, and well done to those chaps for winning. It's hard to win a tournament, so well done. Nothing exciting in the lists. Then we've got... Oh, there was one on the 12th. So Alvaro Crespo went to a tournament on the 12th, won all 3 games. Next day, he went to one on the 12th with Bretonia, won all 3 games, and then next day went to another one with Dwarves and managed to win 2 out of 3. Oh, legend. Yeah. Dwarf list is normal mountain holds. King Thane, Runesmith Thane. That Thane is there for the crossbow and all the runes and shit on it. That probably goes with the Rangers, I'd imagine, if he's got Rune of Passage, maybe. Then we've got some Dwarf Warriors. Not big units. Got 3 Gyrocopters because they're great. A couple of Grudge Throwers, a cart, Bugman's Cart, and some Iron Drakes. Yeah. Actually, I think we're going to see larger units of Iron Drakes. Now, I still think Iron Drakes are the best thing in the Dwarf roster. It's just, I think people were taking them because they thought the Trollhammer Torpedo was like it. They thought, a lot of people were basically describing Iron Drakes as like a delivery mechanism for a Trollhammer Torpedo. I don't think so, because the Drake guns are amazing. So they're worth it for those alone. You don't have to actually upgrade your your guy at all. I mean, Trollhammer torpedoes are pretty bloody good as well, but you know, it's not. They're not only there to deliver a Trollhammer torpedo. The Drake guns themselves are really good. Righty ho. But yes, so where was I? And then that was the weekend before, so we've already talked about that. Schweden? Nothing. Blighty. Lovely. So Matthew Willits managed to win with Grand Cathay. Here we go. I think this is the first win with Cathay. It's only an 1800 point. This was over in Lincoln last weekend. Annoyingly, I was somewhere else at the weekend. Where the hell was I at the weekend? Was I somewhere else? What was I doing last weekend? Oh, I was supposed to be doing Boston Strongest, but I was injured, so I had to pull out again. The problem with trying to do energetic stuff when you're old, little things get broken. Right, so we've got a Shigengan Lord and a Strategist. Okay. We've got a big unit of Jade Warriors, some Jade Lancers, cannons, obviously, Sky Lantern, and the Sentinel. There's enough bullshit there to win several games. Yeah, I mean, it's not as broken as Miao Ying and all the cannons that we saw in the previous list, but still. It's only 1800 points as well. Shigengan Lord are also broken. Like, they're the best character in the game. So yeah, but well done. Again, it's difficult to turn up and actually win games. It's all very well good writing net. I mean, I remember doing this in AOS years ago. I wrote a horrible net list for Lumineth, and then went to a tournament, and it was a 1-day tournament, and I think I won. Or was it? No, I think it was a 2-day tournament, and I won like 2 or 3 out of my 5 games. Because I basically just played really badly, you know, which happens. Just forget all your rules and, you know. Or not forget all your rules, forget to do things. King, Longbeards, Cart, Grudge Throwers. I don't know why the Grudge Throwers are so popular, but anyway, they seem to be. I guess they're good for hunting other war machines, aren't they? Are they? I don't know. Iron Drakes and a Doomseeker. That's Doomseekers probably to stick around the war machines and counter anything that gets near them and hopefully die at some point. Then we've got Empire coming in third. That's interesting. So we've got an Engineer, we've got a Wizard Lord, level 3. That's it for characters. Oh, it's only 1800 points. Knights of the White Wolf, cannons. Obviously, cannons are great. Except those can't fire twice for an extra 10 frickin' points. Ridiculous. We've got Steam Tank, Hellblaster. Yeah, nice list. Nice list. Got all the good stuff. And also fairly well balanced in that it's got a bit of infantry, bit of cavalry, bit of artillery. Nice list. I bet that's quite fun to play against, actually. Variety of challenges there. Cool. Like, so this is the difference between that previous Cathay list and this one. That previous Cathay list, right? If you beat that, you'll be sat there thinking, how on earth did I manage to beat that? If you beat this list, this Lord Macragge Empire list, you'll think, I've worked really hard to beat that. Because it's really well balanced. It's got all the good things. You'll have to really figure out how to take it to pieces. And, like, use the terrain. And you're going to have to be good to beat that list, right? And it's clearly got a good general, because he's won 2 out of 3 games. That's a good general. So you got a good list and a good general, and it's well balanced as well. So like you're gonna come out of that game thinking that was a really good game. If you won or lost, to be fair. Whereas the Cathay list, you're gonna come out of it having won it thinking, whew, I'm glad or alternately, you're gonna come out of it thinking, oh fucking, well, that was horrible. What could I have done? And I really hate those games where you finish it and you're like, I learnt nothing from that. I've just got somebody's literally just kicked me in the face for 10 minutes for about 2 hours, and I have no idea. Like it's like basically you've been bound and gagged and allowed somebody whilst you're in a supine form is allowed to kick you for 2 hours, and then you get up at the end of it and you go, well, what was the point of that? What am I supposed to learn? And they go, don't get kicked. Or something stupid like that. That's literally what it feels like. It's like, It's like some of the rules writers at GW are massive narcissists, and they just like the idea that they're abusing quite a lot of the community by putting out these horrendous rules. And yeah, I know it's a tournament, but like, you know, it's basically literally like FIFA saying, "Oh, do you know what? We're going to host the World Cup wherever the most money is, because rather than where the love of football is the highest, we're actually just going to hold it where we get paid the most. Like, not our organisation, just us. We're just going to, we're just going to do that. It's a bit like that. Anyway, shut up, Dan. Ranting about fucking Cathay. Honestly, I'm getting annoyed with myself because I don't want to talk about it. And that's another reason I haven't done the bloody video yet. I will do it one. I probably should do the high elf one first. I haven't even tried to do that. Right, then we've got Vampire Counts winning a tournament here. Now, again, the Vampire Counts being broken, that was stupid and an oversight. You can tell it was stupid and an oversight because they gave too many things. Like, they wrote the Wailing Dirge rules, I think, for Banshees, and then later on thought, oh yeah, we need to give them to Terrorgeist, don't we? And then as soon as they did that, it then became a bit broke. Right, so we've got Mortis Engine level 4, Mortis Engine Necromancer, Team Banshee, Graveguard with the Baron of 5-up region, and then some Blood Knights. Yeah, good list. I like Blood Knights, I think they're great. I've got 10 of them over in the tray over there. Orc and Goblin Tribes coming in second. This is an interesting set of podium, isn't it? So we got Black Orc Warboss. Has he lent into Black Orcs? He has. He's got 20 of the buggers. Well done. Big Guns on board, boys. Doom Diver Catapults, best stone thrower in the game. 9 Fanatics. That's a good list. That's, again though, it's not impossible. Once you're through the wall of Fanatics, the Night Goblins fall quite quickly. And it's really only the Black Orc mob that with my Chaos list, it's only really the Black Orc mob that I'll be worried about because of those great weapons. Maybe the Doom Divers as well. That guy I won't be too bothered about. Right. Pip Hamilton with Vampire Counts again. Level 4, level 2. Level 4, level 2, and sorry, I just got. Okay, level 4, level 2, Team Banshee, White Lord, zombies, ghouls, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, nothing. Oh, he's actually given his Castellan supernatural horror, so he's made the Blood Knights cause terror. That's quite cool. I quite like that. That's a good idea. No, because then you're dropping a Blood Knight to do it, though, aren't you? The problem with the Blood Knights is that their points are wound up so tight that you can really afford 10 in 2 units of 5 with nearly full command upgrade, or you can afford a unit of 9 with full command and a few magic items. So it's like, do you want the extra magic items or do you want the extra model? Given the fact that, I think you want a big unit because you can actually bring back quite a few in a turn because they're resurrectable. They're resurrectable. Yes. So, yeah. Cool. But so well done to George, Malik, and Pip for taking that one out. Lead the charge. Tom Goldman won with Warriors of Chaos. Ian, well done for coming in second. Well done, Robert, for third place. I'm just going to look at Tom's list because I'm interested in Chaos. I want to see what's happening with Chaos. So we've got a Sorcerer Lord, level 3 Zinch. Level 3 Zinch? Why not level 4? I don't understand that. Rod of the Damned, which is the one that kind of... if you're casting a spell within 18 inches of it, you have to roll 3 dice and choose the 2 lowest, which is pretty nasty. And then you got Aspiring Champion, BSB. Nurgle Lord. Over 500 points, so I guess this isn't using the... this tournament can't be using the new the new thing. This is an old list, so it's not of interest really. Oh, well done, Tom, for winning the tournament. I'm not taking nothing away from your glory. However, it's not the current rule set. So that's 6th of July. There was only 2 last weekend in the UK. Absolute travesty. Not a lot happened last weekend, did it? And then there's more happened for the old world in the States last weekend than in the UK. British people, sort yourselves out. That's it. That's it for tournaments over last weekend. So there's not really been that much over. But I guess, we're all winding down to the summer holidays. Actually, across the world, school summer holidays tend to be at roughly the same time of year. And the reason for that is because the reason for summer holidays at all is harvest. So that essentially everybody could stop schooling and go and work on the land. It's a very ancient practice that goes back several hundred years, when literally everybody was required to pull in the harvest, and if everybody wasn't working, then you probably starved in the winter. So everybody had to go and pull in the harvest, and that's why the summer holidays are long, because all the kids, 600 or 700 years ago, would be out on the fields, pulling crops out of the ground in the summer, because everybody needed to work in order that everybody could eat over winter. But that's no longer the case, of course. So anyway, that's why summer holidays are when they are. Most of the world. So the point I'm making is that there'll be a lot of tournaments in August. In fact, let's have a look. And how do I actually stop it? Upcoming. Not in the States, in the UK. I want a 2-day Old World Summer Realms Slam. Who's that with? That is with... Wandering Warlocks in Sheffield, I think. 2-day event. 2,000 points. How many people? Sheffield's not that far away. I'm there this weekend for a thing. Not for a tournament. I'm going for a drum and bass thing. Oh, everybody's already in and checked in. Oh, well, I can't enter that then. But I'm probably a bit late, actually, aren't I? So this is the problem. I don't really know my availability for weekends until probably about the month that I'm in, because stuff moves around. So, like, when I come to book a Warhammer tournament, I'm like, right, it's mid-July. I can really look probably until the end of August. And then I'm not really sure what weekends look like after that. So, yeah. Saffron Fantasy Slam. Where's that? I could do that, maybe. I'd like to do a weekender. CB. Don't know what CB is. CB11. CB Saffron Walden X's. Saffron Walden and X's. Don't know why my brain decided that was the... Oh, it's there. Cambridge, idiot. CB. Yeah. Oh, I could probably do that. That's not too far away at all. Are there still tickets? There are still tickets. Cool. Nice. I shall have to talk to the missus and see if I can do that. I might do that. Oh, no, hold on. That's weekend. Oh, no. That's next weekend, isn't it? Not this weekend, but next weekend. Damn it. I think I'm doing something next weekend. Shit. Oh, well. Anyway. The reason I wasn't looking for that for me, I was actually looking for it to see what was happening. Because, like, as you can see, like, first weekend of August, this is summer holidays. That's going to be, so we've got, like, 6 tournaments coming in here, 1 five-game tournament there. That's kind of the first weekend of the summer holes as well. But you can see, like, activity in August, like, August and September kind of ramp up a bit, and then everything drops off a bit. Now, this is partially because people haven't uploaded, their Lincoln again. Ooh. Oh, it'll be 1,800 points again, won't it? I think when AOS and 40k both went to small tables, I think they did as well at their centre. Or maybe I'm remembering the wrong centre. But I remember there was one centre that went Cathay. Do you know what? I think I'm going to write a chaos list that's just going to absolutely spike Cathay. Just an anti-Cathay list. Is Chaos the right faction to do? That's another video. That's another video I can do, isn't it? How to write a list that's guaranteed to beat Cathay. I think it's actually just looks like Bretonnian Exiles. No, it doesn't, does it? Because their cannons are just out cannon the cannon. Maybe it's Wood Elves. Wood Elves would never get to play Cathay though, because unless they happen to. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. I'm coming up. I'm thinking of new video ideas, so hopefully there should be a bit more content over the next few weeks. There should be anyway, because I've been stupidly busy with work and stuff like that, and you know, all the rest. So yeah, which is what I need to go do now, because it's where I am. It's 11 o'clock. I normally go to work at 10 and finish at, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, something like that. So that's the benefit of being self-employed. I can work late. I quite like working late, but I can also start late as well, which I also quite like, because I'm not a morning person by any stretch of the imagination. I'm the other end of the day. Cool. Which is why I'm always rubbish at tournaments, because I tend to lose the first game of the day and then win the others. So, in AOS, I had a pretty solid record of like just 3 wins for a bit, and you can go back and look. It's like literally first game Saturday, first game Sunday, both losses, because Dan is just too tired and not concentrating. Anyway, right, I shall see you around. I hope you found the video useful. If you could. Do us a favour and click the like button, that would be great, or subscribe if you haven't already. You know, it's that stage of the video really where you should take a long hard look at yourself, and if you have listened this far and you're not subscribed, come on, like, you know, I mean the general principle that I have is if you manage to watch like 2 or 3 videos from somebody and you get over around about 10 minutes in all of those videos, you should definitely subscribe, right? Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will faff about with my mouse a bit trying to find where it is so I can press the stop recording button. Toodaloo.